So our explosion is going to be in the center here, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the variation of sizes we've got here, but I would like to just generate 2 or 3 really big kind of chunks, okay, just to give us, you know, it's good to have lots. The general consensus is to have lots and lots of really small pieces and kind of gradually work your way up, and then literally 1 or 2 of the biggest size in your simulation. So to generate that, because we've got them up to about this size, you know, which is good, but I want something, you know, about 3 or 4 times bigger than that. So I'm going to use some constraints to build that. So if we drop an ABD constraints from rules, I believe is what we need. Connect up the first port. We don't need any others for now because we don't have any constraints here. We do need to connect up the proxy geometry, and here we don't, for the moment, have any bounding geometry. Okay, so, but we are going to build that bounding geometry right now. So, yeah, so to select these specific areas, I'm just going to drop some spheres there. Could do this procedurally, but you know, literally just 2 or 3, so I prefer to not and just have a bit more control, you know. Okay, let's give it some more frequency there, and then I'm going to drop a mountain node here just to give us a bit of a different kind of shape. Let's see, and just leave that as it is. I think that's fine, okay, for the scale. And then just drop a few transforms. So maybe if we template this and then just give myself a couple of different positions for this. So minus 2.5 there. So I'll have 1 over here. Okay. This will basically make a selection and, you know, make constraints from that. This one will turn a bit, so it's not the same. Make it a bit bigger, 1.5. Let's move it to a different direction. That's 05.5. And move it over this way a bit, 1.5. Okay. Merge them just so we can take a look at both together. Right there. That doesn't look right. 1 second. All right, I want to move this one over a bit this way as well. And then 1 more. And this one, I'm going to have 4 in X for the translation, minus 2 in Z. And then we'll turn it in 90 degrees here. Scale, we can stretch it out a bit. You know, it's kind of arbitrary what I'm doing here, but you know, just kind of grabbing a couple of big chunks in the middle, basically. Simple as that. And then I'm going to connect this up to the 4th port, which is bounding geometry. Okay. So, and then we can come in here and go to keep in bounding regions, not bounding box, bounding geometry. Okay, so then it makes that selection for us. Excuse me. That's going to start to build our constraints inside there. So that we can see this kind of visualization of it. Let's give it a name. Call these clumps. Okay, and that should be it. If we zoom in, you can see the selection of the pieces that we're making. Okay, we're grabbing a few there and here, and then if we just drop a null, you can see the actual constraints that we're getting if we turn off this as well. Okay, so there's not a lot there, so it won't be too heavy to compute. So we need some values on these. So we need RBD constraint properties. Drop that. So yeah, for any bullet simulation, any constraint will need a name and a type, right? So the type is going to be glue, and the constraint name will be glue. That's fine. Now I don't want these constraints to break ever, so that you can either give it, you know, a crazy high value, or just give it a value of -1, which means it will basically never break. And that's there are our constraints ready to go.